What's up, guys? It's Crash, and in a rare bit of communication, DICE released a development update for Battlefield 2042, where they're at prior to Season 1. We got some information on what we can expect with Season 1, so we're going to go over that. I'm going to give my opinions at the end, but overall, I'm astounded at how we're being conditioned to expect much less with content updates with games, and a lot of the stuff in this update just proves, in my opinion, how we paid AAA price for an unfinished game. But we're going to get through it. I want to see what you guys think down in the comments below. We're going to hit the high points quickly, efficiently, as we do on this channel. Super quickly, before we get into it, I did add a new membership tier if you guys are interested in supporting the channel. Times are tough out there. Money's hard to come by, so I made a 99-cent tier if you want to support the channel for as little as $12 a year. You can do that. Definitely not required. I appreciate all of you that just click and watch the videos. It means a lot to me. So let's go ahead and get into this. I also watched the 15-minute video, and you can see right here at the beginning, just listen to this.
The Season 1 map, it's probably my most favorite. Lars will tell me it's.
So he says the Season 1 map, and that's the first time I realized that we are, in fact, I've suspected it, I've been worried about it, that yes, we are only getting one map with Season 1. 7 months after launch, we're getting one new map, guys. That is incredibly disappointing in my opinion. This game really needs content. I wanted it to succeed, but one map is rough. So anyway, let's get into it, guys. The four main things they talked about: maps, experiences, mode, core gameplay, and new content. So we talked about only one map, and then how this is going to break down into Season 1 is that right off the rip, we're going to get the remake of Kaleidoscope, which, don't get me wrong, it looks good. This is where, but at the same time, this is where the map should have been at launch. You can tell in this image right here. Can you guys see it pretty good? I might expand it just a little bit so you guys can see it. They're adding a lot more cover, a lot more assets, making the maps look more war-torn and stuff like that. Essentially, in my opinion, it looks like they're finally finishing the maps. And again, one map rework, one new map at the beginning. Cover's been added with the placement of new assets, but also rising of terrain. So they changed a lot of terrain and stuff out in the open areas to give you more cover. They talked about more routes for infantry and vehicles to move across the map easier, the larger maps. And they said in the new maps also, I thought this was interesting, that they're going to scale them back and make them smaller, which I think is definitely a good thing. They said we've introduced new areas on the map, adding a forward operating base into the park with a second command post added close to the tower. So you guys can see the before and after where they added that fob and a lot more war-torn looking assets and stuff like that. And then with this, they're also reducing the number of points. So this is before, this is after. They're trimming that up just a little bit where there's less points. It should be a little bit easier to see what's going on the map. And then Renewal is the second map. Now, we've already heard this stuff that they're going to give us this reveal. Renewal is the second one that says it's progressing well, adhering to the same quality improvements, but it's now scheduled to release. They didn't really talk about this in the video. Sometime after Season 1. So they're still working on Renewal. So like I said, this is going to become later in the season. But you can see they also changed the shape of the map to make it a little bit more linear. They removed some of this dead open space in the bottom. The solar station has been revised to include much more cover, new concrete barriers, sandbags, and assets to help give the space more an occupied, entrenched feeling. Again, finishing the map. Connect the security checkpoint to the Senesco buildings. Now there's plenty of cover helping to link the play spaces with Senesco buildings themselves, featuring more internal points of cover that help improve our standards of close quarters combat. So they're adding more infantry spaces, which I think is good, which they were lacking. I know originally when they talked about releasing this game, they had these large open maps and they expected you to traverse them with vehicles. Didn't realize they were going to give all of the vehicles 30mm cannons. So anyway, they're now unshackling themselves from 128 players. So we've talked about this too. We've got some mention that they're not as excited about 128 players as originally. Player game modes, when it comes to we develop new modes in our game. So that insinuates we might be getting new modes, which is good. Breakthrough, we've made the decision. This is old news already to 64 players. So Breakthrough is no longer 128 players. That's already been done. Conquest experiences will at times feature less sectors and capture points as we introduce new content and update some of our existing content. So as you've seen, it looks like they're going to go through some of the other maps and make those sectors a little bit less and a little bit easier to understand, and just not so much dead space in the maps. Finishing the maps. We're also looking to expand and bring our official modes together to include Rush, our 32-player focused experience during Season 1. That'll be good. I really did enjoy Rush, so hopefully that's just a permanent mainstay. Speaking of which, starting Season 1, you'll see more of our existing Battlefield Portal maps joining rotations and All Out Warfare to help bring more variety to our core modes. So instead of building new maps, They're just putting the old maps into All Out Warfare, which, I mean, it's already built in the game. They might as well do it. And you'll find, oh yeah, so Hazard Zone, Firestorm much? Hazard Zone, they're completely abandoning. This game mode had so much potential. I was incredibly excited for it. As you guys know on this channel, we were really excited for Hazard Zone. And it just wasn't a finished and fleshed out concept. It had a base skeleton of a really fun game mode, and they didn't finish it out. They're completely killing it. You'll find that the maps we release across our seasons will not be supported in Hazard Zone. So essentially, they're not changing Hazard Zone. They're not trying to balance it to add anything. It's completely dead, and I'm really sad. It's a missed opportunity, as we're going to see with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 DMZ. When that comes out, we're going to see what a game mode like that could actually be, and it could have been really good. It honestly could have. That's incredibly disappointing. I feel a lot of Firestorm vibes with this because I was excited. I was excited for Firestorm. I liked it, and it sucks. So then the next thing in the development update, this again, finishing the player models, adding facial hair, scars, making it feel more dark and gritty like the promotional material. McKay gets a beard and a dirty face. Boris gets a longer beard and hair, so that's good, I guess. We're also in the process of updating voice lines you hear from the specialists. They're just a little bit different with the tone. On the gameplay side of specialists, this is what we really care about. We're still exploring bigger changes to their design and don't want to commit into temporary decisions while this work is still ongoing. So again, the specialist feedback loop was a farce. That's a complete lie, and they're not going to talk about that. They did mention how they want to communicate where the specialists fit into the class system. So I really think specialists are here to stay, and they're just going to leave it all the same and put them under class designations. But that's just what I think. So we'll see. They said more to come on specialists and what they're going to do with those. Along those same lines in core gameplay, you guys can see they're working on animations. So essentially, I don't understand this either. The animations, they're making it to where instead of turning as you aim, the body rotates. Essentially, they're making it like Battlefield 5 animations. And we know in the lead up, we talked about on this channel how they said they were building on Battlefield 5 movement mechanics, which is one of my favorite movement mechanics of any shooter. And they're just now getting it on par with the last release. Again, with the performance we'll talk about at the end, they're just now getting this stuff 7 months in on par with their last title back in 2018. So it's wild to me how they're just finishing this stuff up. So we're working on animations still 7 months into the game. Again, just showing how unfinished this game actually was. Beyond this, we have new weapons and gadgets coming with each season, so that's good. But yeah, as far as that goes, I don't know why they didn't just keep Battlefield 5 movement animations and stuff like that and build us some content for this game. New content, yeah. So here's the season 1 map, guys. We've always wanted a road map, and here it is. Can I open this in a new tab and make it bigger? I can. So yeah, we can see that breakthrough 64 players, that's already done. Season 1, new map. Again, there we hear it, one map. One new specialist, new weapons, new vehicles, new battle pass, more weekly missions, more portal experiences, and more community spotlights. Okay. Animation improvements and traversal improvements. So that's finishing the game. The Kaleidoscope map update. And then season 2. Okay, so on here it shows season 2, the renewal map update is in season 2. And the specialist look and feel updates is not until season 2. So that's going to be at least several months after that. We're going to get into COD Modern Warfare 2. And this game, I feel like, is going to take a back burner for most casual fans. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think of this roadmap. It's crazy. Did talk a little bit. Did I have it on here? They talked about performance. Essentially it was just lip service. They're continuing to try to up their frame rates and help with CPU spikes, and it still runs pretty abysmal on my machine with the 3090, so we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, guys, that's all I had. Sorry if I sounded doom and gloom. I just am disappointed with what this game could have been. I find it odd to see a lot of people on Twitter really excited about this stuff when it's like, come on, man, it's one new map and one map rework. Is season 1 in a game that hasn't had any content in 7 months. It's crazy to me. But anyway, guys, I can't thank you enough for watching it. If you made it to the end of this video, wow, you're incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.